Sophia, best girl. Life and material, life and material. Life and material, life and material, life and material. Life and material, life and material. Life and material, life and material, life and material. Do I look like a cam girl to you? I need this for drugs. To enter my fortress of solitude. Hey, what's going on, y'all? It is Artie of Artie's Corporate Fiction. Happy Friday, everybody. Good to see y'all. I actually have 2 live streams slated for tonight. This first one, we're going to finally take a look at the recent video known as the hearing. Happening, right? No, it's just simply Chille making a fool of himself. And yeah, wasn't fun. But we're gonna do that right now. Thank you guys again for watching, and we're gonna go right into it. I shouldn't be Comcasted, guys. Let me see here.
Interference with the proceedings in any way, shape, or form.
I had to rush to get the beer and come back. That's why my heart rate was up.
Grounds for contempt and sanctions will be imposed. So I just expect everyone's cooperation with the court's order. And now can I have Madam Clerk swear in the parties, and then you identify yourself.
Mr. DeCastro and the 2 defendants, please raise your right hands. Raise your right hand, Mr. DeCastro.
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am, I'm here.
Raise your right hand, please. Do you solemnly and civilly swear that the statement you're about to give this court is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do. I do.
Thank you.
All right, thank you all. I have before me Mr. DeCastro's 2 requests for harassment orders against Mr. Abrams and Ms. Peters. Mr. DeCastro, are you seeking to have these orders issued against these 2 individuals?
Oh, yes, please. I would definitely like those orders issued. It's you know, it's beyond the scale of anything reasonable. It's incredible. It's astonishing.
All right, so before you tell me anything else, sir, I'm going to handle this one party at a time. I did read your affidavits for both of your requests. I want you to first explain to me why I should issue an order against Mr. Abrams based on what you've put in your affidavit. And then Mr. Abrams, you'll have an opportunity to respond after he tells me. Just please don't interrupt him, okay?
Thank you, Your Honor.
Go ahead, Mr. DeCastro.
Well, Your Honor, on August 30th, 2022, in a video called Search Success, Delete Laws, Communications Found, Josh Abrams, who's 7 times a felon, who's just got out of prison from armed robbery.
So, Mr. DeCastro, I'm going to stop you right
Real quick, thank you, Kivy, for the 16 months. They're not in Puerto Rico. My grandparents were. They're okay. Their area did not have. We didn't deal with any flooding or anything like that, thankfully. But everybody's okay down there. I think Florida needs to be on alert, though.
there. I have the benefit of having Mr. Abrams' record here in front of me. That's not the issue before me. The issue before me is what specific.
Also, guys, if you're having issues with YouTube, I just saw an alert that said that YouTube was having issues with live streaming. You may just need to try and reset the live stream or refresh your browser.
Specifically, you're suggesting he may have said or done to cause you to come into court and request this harassment order. So I want you to stick to the facts as they pertain directly to you.
So in the video, he's driving around Boston, actively looking for me. working in conjunction with Kate Peter. They have technology hasn't caught up with the laws yet, and that's what this case is truly about. The reason why your courtroom is so full of people is because there's internet trolls, Your Honor. I mean, you say the word troll, you have to change the name troll to harasser or harassment. They call it a troll in today's era, but it's just harassing someone else or being a nuisance. Or
I feel like, okay.
So, Mr. DeCastro, you say that Mr. Abrams and Ms. Peters.
Okay, look, first things first, Chille, I mean, the judge does not look like she's like 85, all right? I'm pretty sure she's certain that she knows what trolling is, all right?
We're driving around Boston looking for you, and is that one of the reasons why you're asking for this order?
Oh, yeah, Your Honor. They have
when did that happen?
That was on August 30th, 2022. My assistant.
Okay, have there been any other incidents?
Hey, thanks, Go Jack, for being a 22-month member.
Have there been any other incidents since this August 30th incident, or them driving around and looking for you?
Yeah. So I was in Boston and New Hampshire from around August 28th till September 5th or so, September 7th. And Miss Peter visited my home where I was in Boston visiting with a friend. She took a picture. Now, the incoming documents that I have from my assistant will show you, I've already called the police on this woman over Memorial Day. The police were already involved. It already became a physical interaction.
Mr. DeCastro, are you talking to me about Miss Peters right now?
They work in conjunction, Your Honor, so sometimes the stories kind of blur. I apologize. They work in
So I'm
conjunction.
focusing on Mr. Abrams right now. I want you to limit what you're telling me to what he may have said or done that caused you to come into court.
Thank you, Tom, for the $4.99 super chat.
And I appreciate that there may be some overlap, and you might have to repeat yourself when it's time for me to hear from Ms. Peters, but I want you to address specifically and solely what you're alleging Mr. Abrams has done.
Well, Your Honor, so I know you have his record in front of you, but being a felon is a scary thing, and then he was actively on a video, driving around, accepting donations, looking for me while I was in Boston. And what Kate Peters does is she marks my location, and then she sends a troll farm, a harassment farm after me. Where the laws have not caught up to where we are. I've got a bunch of affidavits from people who went down, swore statements, and got it notarized for you to read. There's 4 different people who she's done this to previously who have written these sworn statements that are notarized. My assistant's on his way to your court now to give you those 4 different affidavits. This is beyond incredible, Your Honor. You can't imagine what I'm going through.
Okay, one thing I do notice with this guy, he really loves to talk about, very bombastic, with his language. It's very annoying. Like, it's just more of cut to the chase. I don't care about necessarily. Well, you're gonna have to establish that you're in fear or you're in, you feel that you're being harassed. But the sort of you have no idea what I'm dealing with, Judge. That sort of rhetorical BS can be left by the wayside.
You can't even fathom it. They're stalking me. And Josh drove around saying he's looking for me.
With all due respect to you, Mr. DeCastro, you've told me about 2 things, one of which was on or about August 30th, where you say that Mr. Abrams and Ms. Peters were driving around looking for you. And then you tell me about August 28th through August 9th, where perhaps a photograph of you was taken.
Yeah.
So obviously the judge she knows what she's doing, and she's cutting out all the BS and getting to the actual facts of the matter. What have these 2 done to warrant that he suggests is evidence of harassment to warrant this order? And she just cut out all of his bullshit to two simple items. Kristen Rapp, thank you for the $10.
So it's not clear to me what exactly you're experiencing or going through, and I'm asking you to be clear.
Okay. On August 30th, Kate Peter posted a picture of herself at the lobby of the apartment I was staying in Boston. What that does when she posts the picture, which my sister will have in a moment, is on the way to report now, she marks where I'm at. And then once my location is marked, she has 25,000 professional harassers who will look up where I'm at, my location, anybody that owns anything around me that I'm associated with, and then they'll inundate them. That's what the 4 affidavits are, other people who these people will mass contact in an attempt to harass me. And so they went to my place in Boston. She literally posted a picture on her community page on YouTube. I believe it was
Hey, thank you, Thomas, for the gifted membership.
29th or August 30th, September 2nd. I have the actual photograph. And then I was staying at a summer home out in New Hampshire in the middle of nowhere. They drove out there, put up a sign that said, "Kate always wins," put up balloons. I have pictures of all of the stuff in the text messages with the people whose house they went to that freaked them out. Because it's in the middle of nowhere in New Hampshire. They had to drive 100 miles to get there. So it was.
And when was this New Hampshire incident, sir?
What's that?
When was this New Hampshire incident?
It would have been September 5th, September 6th. I have screenshots of the text messages coming from the homeowners saying, "What the heck is this? Who are these people coming out?" They were alarmed and they fired my friend who works for them. He had to fight for his job back because they were so spooked. Man, this is so harm.
But that's something against the friend, not you, though. Like you're talking about things that they may have done to your friend, not you.
I don't think you understand what's going on. She just marks the location, and then they come after you. And my other affidavits from people who also notarized, you'll be able to read it yourself. I mean, it's taken me a month to put everybody together, because I don't know these people that she just contacted. You know, it's crazy. I have a federal tort lawsuit against both of them. So now that I have the tort lawsuit served, now I can get a subpoena for Airbnb, where they came to my Airbnb on May 22nd, they marked my location, they put it in Kate's Discord server called the Chille Watch Discord server, and then they came to my house at 3 o'clock in the morning and tapped on my windows and doors. I grabbed my gun, I was terrified, I was in Ohio, and then the next day, someone walked into my house, I put a gun to his head because I didn't know who it was.
Let me ask you this, Mr. DeCastro. Why do you think Mr. Abrams and Ms. Peters are doing this?
An interesting question. I'm very curious how he's going to answer here.
Ma'am, that's what I'm trying to say. It's a thing on the internet now. It's called trolling, but it's called harassment.
He's asking you why you specifically. There are plenty of people on the internet. There are plenty of YouTubers, plenty of live streamers. Why you specifically?
And what they do is they get as many people.
I understand what harassment is, sir. I understand what trolling is, but my question is, why would they be trolling or harassing you?
That's how they make money, Your Honor. They make money by finding someone who has a big personality. It's not just me. They'll attach to any person. They've been doing this for years. I have affidavits by people who also have the same story.
Big personality. A big personality.
As I do. And matter of fact, Kate has a criminal case coming up where she violated a harassment protection order last month. She has a criminal case coming up this week. And then another guy also has a harassment protection order in this court on Friday, and then another one in New Hampshire on Monday. I mean, the law is finally catching up to this woman, but this is what she does for a living. She finds someone who's really outgoing, has a big personality, and then she attaches them and harasses them professionally with 25,000 harassers. She pays people. Your Honor, if I can question her, you'll see what she's doing is criminal.
Question her. I don't know if that's about. I don't know if you can actually do that in this kind of a hearing. I don't think you can. No, you can't do that. This is a protective order. This is for a harassment order. That's not how that's going to work. No.
I can prove it right here in this courtroom today. I can prove what she's doing is criminal.
So, Mr. DeCastro, it sounds like you're saying a lot of she's and hers. It sounds like.
Also, yes, he finally went back to Kate, and when he was supposed to be talking about Josh this entire time.
The bulk of what you're telling me relates to Ms. Peters and not to Mr. Abrams.
They're freaking cracked, Your Honor. They're hip to hip. So Josh Abrams, what he did, Your Honor, and I have thousands of text messages. He faked being my friend, and the whole time he was acting like my friend, he was giving my location to Kate Peters so that she could bombard me. She showed up and physically had a physical interaction with me where I went to the police and I filed a police report because we physically interacted. Remember, I don't know her, I've never dated her, we weren't friends, we weren't coworkers. I don't know this woman. She just does this to people on the internet. And what she does,
Hey, what's up,
remember,
Juan?
she's just the marker. She marks your location. And then she says, it wasn't me that came to your house and put dog shit on your doorstep, which I have a video of someone coming in to show you. They put dog poop all over the door and broke my doorknob. My van was stolen out of my driveway 3 weeks ago.
I have not seen Chille's evidence video of what he claims to be evidence.
It's scary. I mean, whether I like it or not, I'm not afraid of Catherine Peter. I'm afraid that she's the marker. And then the bad people come after me. And there's a guy named Joseph Hart who wrote me an affidavit. He explained she did the same thing to him, and he almost got hurt badly. I have a sworn affidavit from him coming in.
So, sir, you're referring to affidavits, which I don't have in front of me, so I'm not going to consider that. Now, what I am going to do right now is turn it over to Mr. Abrams to give him an opportunity to address what you've told the court. Sir, in the back, please put those papers down. You're not a part of this proceeding.
This is really fucking stupid. This is really, really stupid. You're supposed to have submitted those affidavits by mail, not hire a friend of yours to act as a courier. No. You're supposed to have submitted this ahead of time. What? And even then, that's all hearsay.
Sir, if you cannot comply with the court's orders to not interfere with this hearing, you'll be ejected from the courtroom. I don't want to have to do that. The parties before me are Mr. DeCastro, Mr. Abrams, and Ms. Peters, and no one else.
That might be my assistant, Your Honor, with the paperwork.
His assistant.
Well, and your assistant is not you, Mr. DeCastro.
I'm sorry, I'm just trying
So I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Abrams right now to give him an opportunity to respond to what he can make of what you've told the court. Mr. Abrams.
Thank you, Your Honor. Good morning.
Good morning.
If I could give just a little bit of background to explain how I know this gentleman.
Please.
Thank you. I did meet him through YouTube. We had not met personally. We travel within the same YouTube sphere or community where we do the same type of social media. At that point, we became friends. I started following him, and at one point, he did come to Massachusetts.
Does anybody have a link to his evidence video? Somebody send me a link to the evidence video.
To go out and film with me. There was an incident at a Memorial Day parade in Stoneham, Massachusetts, where we attended with the intent of filming the parade, some of the police officers there, and anything in the surrounding area. At one point during the parade, now myself and Ms. Peters actually have somewhat of a contentious past. Her job in some capacity.
I mean, for Josh to call his relationship with Kate as having a contentious past is a little bit of an understatement.
Is to report or give oversight or reviews of things that I do. So we do know each other, but it wasn't always in a friendly manner. We rarely ever spoke. But in this incident at this parade, which is still live and available on Mr. DeCastro's channel, Delete Laws, he started walking up to several children, mostly female, between the ages of approximately 6 and 9, and was...
Mr. DeCastro.
Okay, settle down.
Oh, please do not interrupt the proceeding. The warning that I provided applies to you as well. Go ahead, Mr. Abrams.
Thank you, Your Honor. Still on this live video, it shows him walking up to these young children, stating that the police will rape them, to not trust the police, and never call the police. About this time, I started separating myself from him because I am an absolute free speech advocate, but I feel like parenting someone's children is unacceptable, but this behavior was even more so. Ms. Peters did show up to, kind of troll us, to get us on video now, and for us to have an interaction, which I had no problem with. I did not feel threatened by it. It's the internet, you know what I mean? She was not saying anything hateful or anything that put me in fear. It seems that Mr. DeCastro immediately became upset. His live stream, also my video, is on the internet now as well. It's gone somewhat viral, where at this point he sees now Ms. Peters doing the same thing that he's doing. She's following behind him and saying, I'm with him, I'm with him. On 3 separate occasions, as seen in video, he actually steps back and body checks into her, there are 3 different points where he physically shoves her, one from about 3 to 4 feet. It's captured very clearly in video.
Mr. Abrams, I'm going to interrupt just for 1 second.
Yes,
What
ma'am.
date was this?
This was on Memorial Day, Your Honor.
This past year?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, go ahead.
At this point, the police did see what was going on. They said on the video and in their report that, you know, we saw what you were doing. You're trying to bump into her. You're pushing her. He, at that point, asked if he could tase her or assault her. The police told him that if he did that, that could end in criminal charges. The police asked all of us to leave for the sake of the children. One last time, when the police officer turned his back, again captured on video, he turned around and elbowed Miss Peters' wrist.
He being Mr. DeCastro.
Correct.
All right,
Your
I
Honor.
found it.
Causing the phone to actually fall from her hand. At this point, as you can see from his live stream and my video, he became so physically enraged going after her that I physically, now this is someone that's supposed to be my friend, I'm now physically holding him back from someone I've had a contemptuous relationship with.
Yeah, and Chille can laugh, but we all saw the video. We all saw the video. It got to the point where Josh had to physically restrain Chille from a woman for whom Josh would have every reason to despise. Seriously.
Because I'm now concerned that his behavior is either going to hurt Ms. Peters or some of the children that are nearby. At that point, the issue, our friendship quickly went downhill. Mr. DeCastro appeared for a restraining order in which I was a witness on behalf of Ms. Peter just several days after this event.
He's tried to get one against her.
Yes, ma'am. This is
Okay.
his second attempt. It was first at the Woburn District Court. It was not given to him, and much the same as in this case, a date was set up for us to be heard in front of a judge. And in front of that case, the judge again said that there was no warrant or merit. However, when we went on break from that courtroom, as Ms. Peter was present, I went outside. Mr. DeCastro first found out that I was being a witness for her at that date. So as he's just now found out, we're now on recess from court. I immediately started receiving, which I've saved.
What date was that you
This
and Wilbur?
was, do you remember the date of that? June 12th, possibly, Your Honor.
Okay.
I immediately started receiving text messages, nothing threatening, but as a witness against him, I felt that it was inappropriate to now be receiving text messages saying that what I was doing was wrong and how saddened he was, but there was nothing physically threatening. At this point, Your Honor, I did start doing videos on Mr. DeCastro as these videos became public interest. Oftentimes, as you can see, the videos are of me watching his live streams, reviewing things that he said, correcting certain things that he has said. And Mr. DeCastro's affirmation on his affidavit for this restraining order today, he said he gave my location to Kate Peters, causing the intimidation or danger. A lot of what Mr. DeCastro says relates to trolls and people that I have 90,000 viewers, 23 million views. I certainly cannot make people do anything. It's very clear in my videos. I always say that in no way would I wish for people to contact him. In no way am I asking for people to contact him. This is the internet. People leave comments on my things that I don't like. People leave comments on his things that I don't like. But it should be kept in mind that on the date that he's saying that, I went to follow him, what Mr. DeCastro failed to remit to the court is that he was on a live stream interviewing in public at a public place in Boston. He also announced that he had service with me. I believe the gentleman standing here today, I'm not aware of his name, but that is one of his friends or his colleagues that is now trying to stand up and I believe maybe serve us. But we were served a lawsuit or attempted lawsuit from this gentleman. So I went to get service. That's what this gentleman apparently is doing his service for him. You could see this gentleman in the video. So I absolutely
know that you were going to be served.
He made public statements, Your Honor, letting me know that there was a lawsuit, that he came to
on the live stream.
Yes,
on that
yes, Your Honor.
Date. Okay.
On several live streams that he came to Boston to serve both myself and Miss Peter, that he was contacting a constable, that he was going to serve me, and I live with my elderly mother, and to avoid constables, and I work all day, so to avoid constables or people she doesn't know showing up at the house He said, I'm going to serve Mr. Abrams as soon as I can and when I feel like it. So I felt that if he was with the person who's now available trying to serve me now when he's first seen me, then I would go and get the lawsuit in hand. He wound up ending his stream. I did not seek to go find him after that. I did conduct several more videos, but nothing certainly with credible threats or fighting words. He says that I announced that I was working with several Discord accounts as he traveled the city to find Jose. I believe this is the incident that he's referring to, Your Honor. I was on a live stream. I did not have the capacity to operate in Discord, and the Discord that he's referring to has over 2,000 people in it, most of whom I only know by a moniker or a tag name. I don't know these people. I don't ask them to go to Mr. Peters, to Mr. DeCastro's house. I would ask that my record has no relevance, although I recognize my record. In this case, it seems to be confusing, as today I've brought as evidence. I was on a live stream just 2 days ago, and this is a gentleman that's saying he's in fear of his life to the point that I must need to be physically restrained by a court order. He's not verbalized anything that would put him in fear that I have done directly, either that or indirectly, or provided proof. He has, however, said in a live stream recently, for someone that is quite scared of me, he took the time to, I went onto a live stream, Your Honor, when he was there, and he dropped off, and then I continued a conversation with the channel owner for about 20 minutes, when we were talking about a case that they were covering or reviewing. At that point, Your Honor, he found it necessary, being scared for his life, intimidated by me, to come up on live stream. I have a video, about 30 seconds of that today, where he came on the live stream. He called me a rapist. He called me a fat piece of shit, which is his freedom of speech to do so. And then he made, on 2 separate occasions during this live stream, 2 separate fist gestures, and he told me that he better hope that,
So if there's any following, I'm going to ask you to abbreviate. Don't say the full word.
Yes, ma'am. My apologies. He said, you better hope when I find you there's no cameras, because, you better hope there's somebody to save you. And I have that today. I brought it with, he made a fist gesture. Later on during the live stream, he told me I was going to get it. Again, Mr. DeCastro made a fist gesture on about approximately 4 other live streams. He said publicly how he could, he didn't say he was going to, Your Honor. He said he could beat the SH out of me. So these are all documented instances of Mr. DeCastro actually making violent threats against me. More so, Your Honor,
I will say, this is pretty impressive with Auditing for America. Or excuse me, not Auditing for America. Fuck that guy. Accountability for All. Josh, AFA. This is actually pretty impressive. He's straight to the point, concise, responding directly to Chille's accusations, and cutting most of the meat out of and most of the rhetorical flourish that Chille's been employing so far. And also going direct in countering all the points that Chille has to make in terms of making a case for this order. He's actually challenging the elements of what Chille needs to show in order to gain access to the to grant this order, and he's done a great job on it. So this is solid.
I believe that this has nothing to do with any legal proceedings or Mr. DeCastro feeling in harm, in jeopardy, in any way for myself or Miss Peters. I did bring video today as well, which I'm obliged to provide to the court, of Mr. DeCastro saying, I don't care if this goes anywhere. I'm just going to keep going after them legally. I'm going after them over and over again, and I'm going to take every dime they have until they can't afford a lawyer, until I destroy them. He quotes, obliterate them. I believe that this is a vexatious attempt, more so proving Ms. Peters' interaction with him, where this is the first time I'm in court, but we went to a local court out of my jurisdiction. A judge denied it. We went in front of another judge, Your Honor. A judge denied that as well. We're here today, Your Honor. He cites that Ms. Peters has several different court dates coming up. It's actually from the same thing. They apply, this gentleman, I believe, if that's the correct person, filed for, again, a restraining order against her. It was denied out of New Hampshire. So when it was denied out of Hampshire, that's the hearing date, much like today that he has coming up. So it's not a separate date. He then came to Massachusetts to do it again. It appears, Your Honor, that this is an attempt to either substantiate his lawsuit, but in no way, shape, or form Have I, or do I believe Mr. DeCastro has proved today that I have uttered any true threats or fighting words, that I have
So just to go
personally...
through his affidavit, on May 30th of this year, your suggestion, he's saying you gave his location to Kate Peters, you're saying he was live streaming.
Yes, ma'am, the video is still up, Your Honor. The video, and I believe the last time I checked, it had 11 point something thousand views. Mr. DeCastro, 95% of his videos are actually live stream. And I believe the video on this date, he was actually questioning people about if they were aware of their constitutional rights. He was live for about an hour and a half.
And just further to my point, because he was live streamed, his location was known and knowable.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Especially...
So, so I think right there, I think Chille is like, oh, fuck, because I think he knows exactly where the judge is heading. The judge is already like not on his side. So, and I think we're already seeing that, and I think the judge is saying like this, Chille's not afraid of them. He's as much of a troll and as much of a harasser as they've been against him. So I think that's what the judge is thinking at this point, and it's a total wash.
Where he was live streaming, because he was showing where he was at, he was talking about the significance of the building he was standing in front of.
Okay.
You know, and secondly, I did not send anything in Discord because as he was live, Your Honor, I was live as well. And, you know, I can't during a live stream then leave the live stream and go through Discord. I think Mr. DeCastro mistakes and confuses, whether it's his knowledge or lack thereof concerning things that if someone does something or they say, oh, you're a jerk because, you know, Josh or Accountability for All said this or said that, that is not me. That is, you know, my company, what I do, I portray a character online. I cover civil rights issues on my backup channel. I cover more public interest events. Because of this case, Your Honor, because this is public interest, I've covered this quite a bit more.
Mr. Abrams, you denied that on August 30th. You didn't announce, well, if you did announce that you were working with Discord accounts, it wasn't with the intent to have anyone else go and find him.
No, Your Honor. I didn't announce that I was working with Discord. I did personally say, Your Honor, in complete and total honesty, that I was going to try and find, because this gentleman here was with him and is his assistant, his server for legal documents. So I did try and make an appearance to go there so I could get served. He ended an hour before I was able to get there.
And again, on August 30th, that was another live stream where during that live stream,
I think he's actually referring to the same one, Your Honor. There was only one live stream, and I still have it, that I ever went in search of him.
Was there never an August 30th incident as far as you're concerned?
No, I mean, I don't think so. I mean,
Okay.
I think he's referring to the same incident. I could be wrong. Maybe it was mentioned in a panel or like a talk show venue where I was reciting the incident that happened.
All right.
But there was not a second time where I attempted to find him. And my actions were warranted, Your Honor, because my mother, she's 76, she is elderly, she's a retired government employee.
No, understood. I understand why you may have traveled to wherever he was to try to get the service that he was suggesting he wanted to serve upon you. On September 2nd, he says you physically went searching for him, even asking for funds. What do you say to that suggestion?
Your Honor, I believe again that when we're talking about the dates where I was going to find him, I believe this stems from the same live stream that I did when I was out with another gentleman that is here in court today, and we were taking video in probably about 30 minutes from Boston of a car accident. I believe that's the issue that he's talking about. I never went to give his location to Ms. Peters, and I did ask for funds. However, that was because, Your Honor, YouTube does not pay till the 22nd. I have to appear now in court for what I believe, for all intents and purposes, is vexatious litigation. So I did explain and recount the best of my ability and my honesty what happened, my history with Mr. DeCastro, where we are at now legally with both pending civil matters, as in the restraining order case, and the federal lawsuit. And I have been asking that if anyone would like to contribute funds to that matter, it is greatly appreciated. We were not able to reach that goal, obviously, as I'm representing myself here today.
All right, I'm going to stop you, Mr. Abrams, and Ms. Peters. I'm going to have you come up now and address the court. Mr. DeCastro,
he's so mad. He's so mad that he's not going to be able to respond immediately. Well, the judge told him keep it to Mr. Abrams, and he decided not to.
No, you'll have an opportunity to address everything that was said after Ms. Peters is done. The reason I'm doing it this way, sir, is because your presentation, you lumped them both in together, so it makes sense for me to hear from the both of them, and then you can address at the end. So I'm going to ask you to mute yourself so I can hear from Ms. Peters. Ms. Peters.
Good morning, Your Honor. I mean, we can just.
He's so mad.
It can get extremely convoluted. I apologize for the circus. This is, for all intents and purposes, a spectacle that is, you know, going on in front of thousands of people. I do run a YouTube channel. Mr. DeCastro, in my opinion, has been most vehemently going after me because I am female. I am more successful than he is. He seems to take exception to that. I've been a very harsh critic of his. My speech is protected. It contains no true threats and no fighting words whatsoever.
Okay. All right. Look, I don't know. I don't know. All right. Let's be real. That was irrelevant. Completely fucking irrelevant for her to say that. Absolutely irrelevant. But the thing is, she's trolling him right now in the middle of court. She's trolling Chille. She knows that saying something like that is going to set him off. It's going to make him look even worse in front of the judge. I absolutely believe that was her intention about it in the first place. Because she knows Chille's going to lose his mind. And I think he ends up doing so.
Mr. DeCastro, on the other hand, since the 7th, when he asked for this order, has issued a number of veiled threats at me, telling me that I'm, you know, going to have people show up at this courthouse. He actually has someone in the courthouse right now who has filed for a restraining order in New Hampshire against me that it was denied. He actually has an active harassment
she already admitted to it? Yeah, I figured.
order against me right now. So I have to be here. This gentleman doesn't. I find it preposterous that these men are purporting to be afraid of me, but then going out of their way to be at the same venue that I am. This is just an ongoing campaign to chill my free
You're saying
speech.
this other person has a harassment order against you?
Active right now.
Not Mr. DeCastro?
No, Zane came in the courthouse. He came here of his own volition, knowing that I was going to be here, right?
This is the gentleman, sir, it's not your time to speak. Mute yourself, Mr. DeCastro. This is your last warning. This gentleman in the back of the courtroom with the
In the
sunglasses?
glasses right there, this is the second time that I've encountered this gentleman. The first time was in West Roxbury District Court when I was on a matter that did not concern Mr. DeCastro or Mr. Zane. They accosted me in the courthouse 4 times. They had to be removed by court officers 4 times. They then waited for me outside of the courthouse.
Okay, take your time.
They
Let's
waited
get
for
back
me
to the
outside of the
affidavit.
courthouse.
Let's get back to Mr. DeCastro's affidavit.
Okay, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I've never stalked him physically. He can claim that I have for the court's consideration, although I would appreciate it. I understand that usually evidence would be shared with the plaintiff. This is my location history for the last 4 months. I don't want him to know where I go.
I don't need to see it.
But
Thank you, James Blau, for the $4.99.
left the state. I don't really leave the South Coast. I have 2 children. I'm employed full-time as a property manager. This YouTube is my second venture really. So I've never physically stalked him. I've never showed up to anywhere where he was going to be. I've never caused any physical altercation.
What about this Memorial Day parade?
Oh, I did at that point. It was YouTube content. He was yelling at children. He was scaring children. I went up. I was a disruptor, and it's constitutionally protected behavior. He took great exception to it, again, because I believe I'm female, and he doesn't like being stood up to by a female. And he proceeded to physically assault me numerous times. He threatened me. He threatened me in the presence not only of Mr. Abrams and hundreds of onlookers, but police officers as well.
And portions of this assault were caught on video, were captured on video? Were portions of this assault captured on video?
Yes, it was captured on video. I declined to file charges.
Yes, it was. Thank you, Carl B, for the $5. Hi, Artie, buy Archer cat toy for me. They got tons of toys, but all right, thank you.
It says that you physically caused a physical interaction.
In the same way that Mr. DeCastro recently wished bone cancer on children and then apologized and said that I caused him to say that. It's a page out of the abuser's handbook. He's blaming me.
Fucking hell. Jesus.
At no point did I physically strike or physically approach Mr. DeCastro in a way that would invite being assaulted. He's the only one who
He's so mad. He's so fucking mad. He's so mad.
You mass tracked, I'm not quite sure what it says, and I think he said you got him canceled. What do you say to that?
I got him canceled. He's here. I don't even know.
All right, come on, Kate. Kate, you have to know what cancel means in internet lingo. You have to know what that means in internet lingo. But I feel like she's playing dumb here.
What that means? No, I mass tracked. He live streams his location. Mr. DeCastro clearly, as we can see, is in his deportment before the court, he is a divisive and kind of abrasive individual. He's broadcasting himself to potentially millions of people. I cannot control that they don't like him. So he is getting trolled online. He always gives the
I can't control if they don't like him.
reaction that people are trying to elicit. You know, he constantly sort of behaves in a way that people find to be vile and objectionable. People online react to that. I have no control over that. He can't point to one instance where I've ever ordered
Thank you,
anyone to
Raybot,
do
for the
that. That's
$5 Australian.
I cover him because I consider it to be public interest. It is my YouTube channel. It's a source of income, which he takes great ire, you know. But it's at no point am I, you know, personally making contact with him or threatening him or putting him in any fear. I mean, again, he's got his associates burying me with paperwork, you know, asking the courts to civilly restrain me and then show up at the venue that I'm at.
August 6th, he says you got him kicked out of his Airbnb.
No, that's, again, preposterous. I would like to see how I did that.
And then, sort of reverse order, he says, June 12th of this year, you stalked him physically.
To his Airbnb, again, I have my location information. No, I'm not stalking him
Chille,
physically.
Scar,
I mean, as far as to paraphrase the law, I'm certainly not an attorney nor a judge, but I mean, stalking has an element
Doubt
of
it.
physical danger written in there. At no point can he point to any time that I've, you know, even put him under the impression that he's physically in danger of me.
Oh,
If anything,
Malo,
I would say the
I see your
contrary,
super
because
chat.
he's
Sorry about that.
numerous
$4.99. Thank you very
threats
much.
against both myself and Mr. Abrams and anyone who dares to criticize him online.
And do you agree with Mr. Abrams that the two of you sort of were contentious before all of this?
Extremely. I put out this man's entire criminal record at some points, you know, and been very, very harshly critical of his treatment of police officers. You know, we have different, but I mean, apparently we can both align in this goal, which is that, you know, this man is abusing the court systems and it needs to stop. And I would hope that it would stop today. He did not come in here asking the courts to give him protection. What he is expecting the courts to do and has been very vocal about is to exercise prior restraint on my free speech.
Is there anything else you want me to know, ma'am?
No, ma'am. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Mr. DeCastro, now is your opportunity to address everything that you've heard in the form of a closing argument, okay?
I think, Your Honor, if we don't introduce my witness and the evidence, it's a travesty of justice. You're listening to people stand up there and give you a story with no evidence.
Mr. DeCastro, I need you to slow down your speech. I need you to slow down your speech
He's so heated. He's extremely heated right
because
now.
I'm having a difficult time understanding what you're saying. It's
So,
very muffled in this courtroom, so slow down.
Okay. So what I'd like to do, Your Honor, is I'd like to bring in my evidence. Because what you're listening to right now is a couple of people who they're not the good people in this. Now, what I did, I became a national figure when I created a timeline that shows the history of lynchings in our country in comparison to the history of the prison charge.
Oh my fucking god. I don't know. The judge doesn't give a fuck about your national notoriety, douchebag.
I became a national figure. Now, people started to recognize me. These people, what they've done now is they're stalking me through private Discord accounts with anonymous people. Now, you're listening.
Mr. DeCastro, I have a hard time understanding how you're being stalked if you are publicly displaying your location by way of your live streams. Are you not live streaming?
Ma'am, if you don't let me talk,
Mm.
then you won't hear me.
I have a question though. I have a question for you. I need you to answer my question.
Right, you just,
Are you live streaming your location?
no, ma'am, listen. You
But you are.
don't understand what is happening. Is
Zaner, thank you for the
criminal. I'd like to
$4.99.
introduce evidence
Chat.
at this point. You're just hearing stories. I spent the last 2 weeks.
With all due respect, Mr. DeCastro, stories or testimony is evidence. So I'm taking your
Boom.
testimony just like I'm taking the testimony of Ms. Abrams and Peter.
I mean, you're not letting me finish at all. One is a 7-time felon, and the other one is on mandatory state medication that he lost to over 4 kids. Ma'am, these are bad.
None of those issues are relevant for my consideration, sir. There is a particular statute that applies here.
They're not telling you the truth, and you're not looking at the evidence. I'd like to call my witness, Dane Kane, and start to introduce real evidence and affidavits from people who she also stalked, harassed, and caused major fear and anxiety. And I'd like to call my witness with all the evidence I've prepared for the past 2 weeks. I'd like to introduce the evidence and not just people talking. I'd like to introduce sworn affidavits.
What are Number one, the judge already told him that the statements by Kate and Josh are testimony. It's evidence. Secondly, he wants to submit actual evidence, but then he says affidavits, which is testimony. He wants to bring in statements from other people. How is that any different than what Josh and Kate are bringing in? They're pretty much the same weight. What the?
From other people.
I'm not going to consider the affidavits, sir. Those are hearsay.
Your Honor, you have to look at the videos that she makes. This is insane. You're listening to people who are putting on a good front, but they're the bad people.
My God, they're the bad guys. I'm the good guy.
This is beyond reasonable. I'm trying to explain to you. At least 3 events, I'd like to call my witness so he can testify what he's been through by just knowing me. And let him introduce his evidence.
What he's been through is not relevant for me to determine if you've experienced something such that you should receive an order.
Exactly. What they did to other people is fucking irrelevant. And it's what they've been doing to you. That's what's relevant, you dipshit.
Right. I'm receiving.
So again, Mr. DeCastro, I need you to address what Ms. Peters and Mr. Abrams have said.
Everything they said is a lie. It's not true at
Everything they said is bullshit.
all. Nothing they said was truthful, Your Honor. I got the video to show you. You won't, for some reason, you won't accept it. I sent the man there from New Hampshire. He did get his protection order.
Hey, thank you, Sonia, for the $10 New Zealand.
A harassment protection order last week against a woman named Lauren. This is what she does for a living.
Are you a party to that order, sir?
You have to take everything.
Hold on.
Your Honor,
I want to hear what he said earlier. Just said.
The video to show you. You won't, for some reason, you won't accept it. I sent the man there from New Hampshire. He did get his protection order. She violated it immediately. She violated a harassment protection order last week against a woman named Lauren. This is what she does for a living.
Are you a party to that order, sir?
You have to take, as the judge, all relevant information that could be pertinent to the case.
Are you a party to that order?
No, he's not. Thank you, Xander, for the $1.99 super chat. I'm his assistant, and thank you for the $4.99 persnickety. It's talking to the judge about legal strategy. No, it is not.
Are you going to let me?
Is that a no?
He doesn't want to answer.
Let me introduce my evidence and call my witness.
I'm asking you if you're a party
He's not answering the question.
to the order involving Ms. Peters and someone else.
Are you going to allow me to interrupt?
Okay, so again, Mr. DeCastro, I need you to stay on point and speak to me about what I just heard Ms. Peters and Mr. Abrams tell me. They've denied every single thing you said. They've told the court that you've been live streaming your location and that they're able to show up because they're live streaming your location. They tell me that they're not stalking you at all. They tell me essentially that you are all YouTube people who have YouTube followers, who neither of you all can control what your YouTube followers do. That's what I have in front of me so far. I need to understand why you believe they are harassing you such that you should get an order of protection.
She put my address online. She put my address where I'm at right now online. When I got here, there was dog shit on my door. It's on video.
There was what on your door?
Dog poop on my door. It's on video. I got a video of the whole thing. She came to my location in Boston and posted a picture of herself in the lobby of my building. She went to where I was on a summer vacation in New Hampshire and showed up there and put her name up there. Kate trolls always win. They have the pictures right there. She showed up at my location to intimidate me and cause fear in me. And then once she marks my location, the trolls will then literally go into physical violence. And she chased me down in Memorial Day. Her video says, I stalked him across the city. I was checking in with the private Discord server. Is he still there? Yes, he is. I'm driving across the county, white knuckles, and we're tracking him. I'm like, is he still there? And then she says, he's not getting away without a confrontation. And then it shows me push her away from me.
So I think all of what he says is actually true. I think she did mention the whole white knuckle thing. because I think I feel like I've heard this already before. But the thing is that even assuming everything here, it's one singular incident. It's one incident. Usually, you need, for a protective order, you need a lot more than just a singular incident. And that's all he really has so far.
I went and filed a police report because it had become physical. I didn't ask her to track me down to where I was in Boston. She literally is on video saying I raced across the 2 different cities to get to him. She parked my car in. There's a photograph. She parked my car in so I couldn't leave. She said on video, I parked him in so he couldn't go. I was gonna have a confrontation with him. That is not free speech, Your Honor. Just watch
What
the
date
video.
was this, Mr. DeCastro?
That's what I thought. I could have sworn, didn't we already litigate this in another hearing? And I completely forgot about it. It was probably a long ass time ago, but I could have sworn he made this the same story before and he still lost.
Memorial Day where she came down, where Josh was privately texting her our location. He's supposed to be my friend. But then he's telling Kate where I was. And then Josh filmed our interaction so that they can embarrass me online. They did it together. But if I chased across the country and it said, I'm chasing across the country and I'm checking in with people to make sure she's still.
That's also a good that is also a good point, Ed. That if that's true and this was already litigated, I don't think he can do this again. I think Merb is right that this would be res judicata. This would be a stop.
There. My God, I can only imagine. And this ridiculousness. I was raised with feminists, with 7 women. I've identified as a feminist my entire life. The idea
and of course, he took the fucking bait and he's wasting the time trying to defend his feminism credentials.
Jealous of a woman's success is just a way to try to kowtow to you, I suppose, Your Honor, but that's crazy. My mom is travel champion, what she's talking about. It's just a way to paint me in some crazy negative light. But if you just take a look, I'd like to call Zane, there's a 9-minute video that shows the actual events that happened in order. They're telling you a really good story, but the evidence shows something completely different. And when you listen to Zane, just knowing me causes you massive problems. Because the troll farm attacks anybody I know. It's way past what you think. I'm suing them. You know how hard doing law is, federal tort law, filing a lawsuit against these people.
Oh, it is, Jerry.
It's an amazing amount of work. I just want them to leave me alone and stop talking about me and let me go on with my life. It's not prior restraint, it's stalking me. Look at the video, they broke my doorknob on my front door. There's dogs, there's poo all over my hand, you can see it. You won't look at it though.
All right, Mr. DeCastro, thank you for your testimony. I've heard enough to make a decision in these matters. The legal standard has not been satisfied.
Can I call a witness as she's handing out her judgment? Hey, thank you, Rachel, for the $1.99.
Sir, for either of your requests. As such, your request for orders against both Mr. Abrams and Ms. Peters is going to be denied. This hearing is now concluded.
Okay, saying what a joke out of the judge should have been grounds for contempt right there. Thank you, Mal, for the $4.99 super chat.
Can I call my witness?
This hearing has concluded.
She already ruled. So no.
Yes, sir. You're all set. You're all set. You're all free to go. Just call the direction of the court officer, please. No clapping, no applause. No applause. Please follow the direction of the court officers. You all can leave one set at a time. Mr. DeCastro, the hearing is over.
What a joke.
Whoever's controlling the Zoom, Mr. DeCastro, can leave the meeting at this time.
What a joke.
Ooh. He mad.
To all the other Zoom users, thank you for your respect. You're obviously free to stay. This is a public forum, but you can also leave.
If they're free to stay, they're also free to go. Just like I just said.
If you're no longer interested in the day's proceeding.
All right. I did download his video where he allegedly had his evidence that he wanted to show. least I thought I did. Ah, here it is.
Yo.
And y'all said it was like around 15 minutes in. Thank you, Poetic Justice, for the 99-cent super chat.
Yeah. Do you want to see? Sure. I'll show it to you guys. Sure. Let me show you guys the video. Let me show you guys the video that. No.
Oh no, I feel like I'm gonna need another drink for this. All right, hold on. I might need another beer for this one. I'll be right back. All right. I'm back. Let's go for it. Okay, I have not seen this, so here we go.
No, I really can't because. No, I can. I can show you guys this video real quick. So here's the video that I made for the judge that she didn't watch. Like there's. So let me go like this, QuickTime Player. Okay. So here's the evidence packet.
What the fuck is this? What? Really? You were going to show this to the judge in the first? He's a fucking tyrant. What?
That I put together to show the judge what this chick's been doing, and she didn't even look at it. So here it is. Let me turn my lights off here so you guys can see the screen a little bit better here. Let me kill these lights. I'll show you guys this is what I had for the judge. So, but the judge didn't see it. So, I mean, if
Everybody hit that like button. Thank you very much for being here with me
How are
tonight.
you going to get a fair trial? Can't really get a fair trial, can you? If the judge doesn't look at the evidence? I mean, how do you get a fair trial? If the judge doesn't look at the evidence, how in the world can you get a fair trial? You really can't.
Connected to Chille's Mac Mini and Chill coded 70.
So here's the video that shows that Kate is absolutely just crazy and what a stalker she is. But watch and listen. And listen to what she says here.
You have no idea how invasive the internet can be, Chille. Like, really, honestly, you should really smarten up. Chuck in Illinois, $10 for the cause. Thank you. I don't know what the cause is, but I appreciate it. Really, we're just trolling here. We're just messing around. It's for fun.
I filed a harassment protection order against Kate, and I filed a federal tort lawsuit. Is this still fun, Kate? Are you having a good time? Do people think this is fun? To track me and put dog shit on my doorstep and all those things? You guys think this is fun?
Just a conduit, hoping that Chille will understand. Like, if you don't like the position that you're in right now, like, it's time to close down YouTube. I'm not telling you to do that. I don't even want.
So if I don't want her to harass me and stalk me and try to put fear in me, then I have to close my YouTube account.
I want you to do that. I love the content that this guy provides. Like, it's genuinely entertaining to me. Like, the best sitcom that's ever existed. But if he doesn't like this, like, he needs to shut, because he's a lol cow.
She beat me to it. That's exactly what I was going to say. That he's a fucking lol cow. And as long as he's going to be posting YouTube videos, She's gonna milk that shit for all it's worth.
This is what's going to happen. There's going to be nothing but throngs of, again, look up Ice Poseidon, look up Chris Chan, look up Cyrax. I know you've talked to Cyrax. Really look at what Cyrax is, though, because those are your peers now. Like, that is where you've put yourself. So, like, no matter what.
What a
you could get me
nutball.
shut down tomorrow, Chille.
This
You're
chick is
not,
such a
but you
nutball.
could. And there's going to be 10 more behind me.
She's
because
so
you
crazy.
are a troll magnet. You are a lol cow. You are being milked for others' enjoyment. I can't stop it. I can't help it. I can't help you. If I could, for your own mental sanity at this point, I would. I would be like, guys, like, kind of push the brakes here. But I have no control over it. Nobody does. Like,
She's
the only
mentally
person who has
ill.
control over this is Chille. He needs to either shut his shit down or do nothing but like stream from a fixed location where you can't see where he is.
See,
right?
I
'Cause
put
then at
the-
least you don't have to worry about people fucking pulling these pranks.
See, everything's in there. I put everything, and then she says you don't have to worry about these people pulling these pranks on you in public, and then it goes right into the prank she pulls.
Well, yeah, and that's what he was doing essentially. Is like, he kind of
Torta.
semi-covertly slides into Massachusetts, and
Hey.
of course, I've got people in my Discord server that are tracking him like an endangered great white. You know what I mean?
Okay, I do remember him saying. I remember this. Okay, now I remember this bit.
Right.
That's the other thing too. How does he think that this is going to be entered into evidence? It's clearly edited, clearly biased. I mean, he could enter it, right? But the judge is going to give it. I would imagine the judge is going to give it very, very, very limited weight, given that it's edited, given how biased he's going to present everything as.
Watching his every move, and for a guy that's this paranoid, like, I honestly don't do a lot of that filming out in public.
But what? You're showing you putting your hand. What? Why are you showing you putting your hands on her?
That was like the most frustrating part to me. It's like I'm trying to film, but I also want to interact with the guy. Yeah, I was so.
Why are you repeating it? Why are you slowing it down for everybody to see this?
Up when I came in,
What
like,
are you
they're gonna tell me
doing?
that I'm shaking like a leaf. Like, full disclosure, I absolutely was. Driving there was like what?
What the fuck? What the fuck?
White knuckle. I feel like everybody was going like 10 miles under the speed limit. I was like, I am going to lose these people. Like, I'm literally on Discord going, all right, 10 minutes. And they're like, nope, they're still there. I'm like, all right, 5 minutes.
It's repeating in the background.
Nope, they're still there. I was convinced because he's so squirrely. He's so paranoid, right? I don't often race.
Yeah, I'm paranoid as you're tracking my location, checking in to stalk me. And I'm paranoid though, but you're actually stalking me. But I'm paranoid. Okay.
Couple towns away to meet a fucking cokehead in Sally Jaffael, glasses. It's just doesn't.
Wyatt for the truth to
Not
come
something
out.
I do that often, and I
Super slow-mo without context. Wait, okay, so they're showing. Wait, is he showing this, or are they showing this video? Even if that they're showing this in a bad light, why would you put that in your video? Why would you put the out of context clip in your own video?
definitely don't usually film like out. It's just not something I do. I stream from home pretty much, or when we have the studio. So I was pretty amped up. I could see him doing it vindictively because he's using the idea of this protective order as a threat, and it's going to take down my channel, and he's going to get me this time, and I better feel lucky that there's rule of law, or he'd beat the shit out of me again. I better feel lucky that there's rule of law, or he'd beat the shit out of me again.
Oh my fucking God, dude. No. No, no, no. Oh my God. Oh no. It doesn't matter if she was hyperbolic. You're still showing evidence that you put your hands on her. That's enough. And yet you want to get a protective order against her? What are you doing?
Because the way where I parked, right, there was no way that they were leaving without some sort of confrontation.
So Dallas, if someone continually runs into me, I can push them away from me.
Yeah, you have a right to push, get someone away from you.
That it's like literally he's telling me to get away from him. I was just baiting him into illustrating what a fucking tyrant he is. I went there with the understanding that there was probably going to be an issue, and I sought that out.
Did he push?
Well, yeah, that was Kate's mission. Here's the thing, Chille. Here's the thing, Chille. Just like, First Amendment auditors, right? What they do is they talk, they verbally confront police. They say certain things, they do certain things. They do them to bait the cops, right? To get a reaction out of them, to get the cops to do something that they're not supposed to be doing. So she just basically did what you do. She went out there to confront you, to make a confrontation, and to bait you. And you took the bait. You took the bait. You put your hands on her.
You.
Multiple times.
That's funny. Right, I know, right, Juan? He's supposed to be showing how much he's afraid of her, and yet he wanted to show a video of him accosting her.
Rolling cases I've ever seen, like Dragon Lord, or Christian, or so you have no idea how invasive the internet can be, Chille. Like, really, honestly, you should really smarten up.
No fucking way. No fucking way. Okay. Charlie.
What? I'm sorry.
Honestly, you should really smarten up.
No fucking way. No fucking way. Okay. Charlie, come here.
Wasn't he supposed to be an actor? What the fuck?
Are you fucking kidding me? Are you fucking...
It's not shit on my hand, thought it was. So it wasn't even a poop bag. Wait, so...
Are you fucking kidding me?
Well, it was behind the screen door.
Are you fucking... Stop. It's chocolate.
So he then admits that it's Nutella, but he still claims it being a poop bag, even though in his own video he admits it's not poop, it's Nutella.
It's a bag full of dog shit. Are you fucking kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? You took the fucking handle off my fucking door? Don't lick that, Charlie. Don't lick that. My fucking doorknob's broken.
I told you to never threaten me, Chille. I told you to never threaten me, Chille.
I'm not really sure who this is. I think that this is the girl from the Masshole report who has called my phone 200 times. I just want to tell you, please stop calling my phone. I don't want any interaction with you. I'm going to serve you a cease and desist letter, and then I'm going to serve you a federal lawsuit. So please.
People have pointed out that the screws to remove the exterior door handle were from inside of the door, not outside. Oh, okay. So the argument that Chille's trying to make is that they removed the doorknob to the screen door, and that's how they gain access through the screen door to put the card on it. But people are saying that the screws were from on the inside section of the screen door, not the outside.
This is outright harassment. I have the call records. You called me dozens of times when I'm trying to do my job and what I do. So please stop contacting me. I heard the answering machine. This is the same girl from the Masshole report named Kate. So I'm just making.
Well, I would expect that the screws would be on the inside of the screen door, not the outside, because if they're if you can access it from the outside section, that's a huge security issue.
It a matter of record here that I don't want you calling my phone. I didn't give you my phone number. I've never asked you to contact me. Please stop calling my telephone. I don't know who you are, and I don't care. I think you're a total loser. Please leave me alone and stop contacting me. Thank you.
There's a door handle better than that plug him. This is just
nutball. Chick's a total nutball. And then now it just goes on, and she writes me, 5 more emails. She just, she just keeps on writing me email after email after email. But this is all, folks, but that's it.
So this was his fucking smoking gun. This was the evidence that he was so upset that he couldn't post. That starts the very first fucking frame, has a swear on it that he's going to show in open court. And then he has on loop in slow motion a clip of him physically assaulting Kate. The woman he is trying to put a protective order on because he feels that he's in fear of her due to her harassment. Followed up by what is a very, very suspicious clip of him finding a bag full of Nutella on his front door, complete with a birthday card with Kate always wins markered on it.
That's it. That's it. That's all for this.
Chille's credit card. Thank you very much for the £449 super chat.
This is the last broadcast of this.
Thank you also Inquisitor Rick for the $5, Hitchbot for the $5, Colony L3 for the $1.99. All three of you guys, thank you very much for your generosity.
They can make all the videos they want about me. They can just keep making video after video about me. This is the last time they get mentioned. This is the last time they get talked about.
Not really, Jacob.
Moderators.
It needs to be more. I think there needs to be a little bit more that he has to do before she can put a vexatious order against him.
You can just block them. You can just permanently block them or time them out.
Or try to move the
over
court.
And over and over. Just
deem
time
him
to
a
move
vexatious
on.
litigant.
And I leave here. I'm out of here. And people don't know where I'm going. They're not going to know. And the next couple things that I do are only for this movement, because we have to double, triple our numbers right now. We have to get bigger.
Artie, that's not from his phone, it's from her own live stream. She's never called him. Wait, so he just spliced an audio clip from Kate and acted as though that was a voicemail she left for him?
We have to get bigger. We have to get a lot bigger. We have to get more people. So, you know, I don't care about the trolls here, you guys. We just this is the last mention, and we're gonna move forward. So the moderators, do me a favor, don't have conversations about these guys in the chat. Just block them, and we move forward, because I have to just focus on the mission at hand.
Amazing.
Right now. So just, you know, Frogmaster, you can just permanently block the people who are just known trolls, you know. So, yeah, so just block them. There's no point, you know, there's people, I don't want to mention them, but you know who they are. You know that your usernames. Just permanently block them, moderators, and we'll just move forward. We'll just move right forward, all right? So let's just move forward, because remember, these people are going to be critics forever. They don't offer anything, so they won't grow. All their fake troll, all that stuff, let's just move forward. And that's my final message here. I'm just going to move forward. You guys got to see the video that I made to show the judge that she didn't look at. Let's just move forward. Let's move on. Chevy, you can just send them back.
Thank you for the $5.
Scrubzilla.
Thank you for the $5. Holly. Hilarious. There you go. $4.99. And thank you for the $5 Tones.
Good to see you, Scrub. I'm glad you're back, man. Love you, dude. And let's just. All right, I gotta go.
She left an audio. She left that audio clip as a voicemail and tricked him into call her, and that's all I got.
Actually, you guys, I'll be on another channel later tonight. I'll be a guest speaker on another channel tonight talking about Terry versus Ohio. So it's funny. I got a phone call this morning. A buddy of mine just hit 50,000 subs, and he said, Chille, for my 50,000 celebration, I want to have you on my show, and I want you to tell us all about Terry versus Ohio. So I said, okay, so tonight I'll be on a show. I'll let my moderators and my friends know what show I'm going to be on. And let's just move forward, all right? Listen, appreciate you guys. Love you guys. Thank you so much for the support, my moderators and my friends and the people who support me and love me. Thank you so much for the support.
Okay, we're done. All right, thank you. We're going to stop there. That was a fucking wild ride. Thank you, guys. That was a trip, especially with that evidence video. Oh my goodness. So I'm gonna stop here. And then I will be on. I'll be back on at 8 o'clock. So in about an hour and 15 minutes. With some Jackbox. We're gonna play some trivia. I feel like it's been months since I played trivia. So no soft sits, no Chille, no Blendino, no auditors. We're just gonna have a little bit of fun. Play some Jackbox. If you want to participate, join my Discord. Excuse me. You join my Discord, and you know, we're gonna have a blast, I think. All right. And yeah, so I'm gonna go eat. And then we'll be back on. It's gonna be fun. All right, guys. Thank you again for hanging out with me. Hit that like button on your way out, and I'll see you next time. Later.